Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is the Etsy workshop for eCom Sellers Academy. So, we are going to be going through part two of the workshop. Just checking to make sure that I am live in the Facebook group. I never can tell, and my phone is frozen. So, let's just see. Let me make sure. There we'll get. Yep, we are. Okay. So, it's funny how it just takes off on its own. All right, so we're going to go through part two of the Etsy workshop. What I will say is that if you have any questions, anytime we're going through this, definitely write them in the comments section. And if there's a specific thing that you want to talk about when it comes to Etsy or any other platform, you can definitely write it in the comments section so we can answer your questions. We look forward to you being successful. So let's get after it. If you haven't already checked out part one, definitely go check out part one so that you can be caught up on what we're covering in part two. So with that, last week we talked about creating your account, or last part one, sorry. We talked about creating your account and how to install the app, or how to find and install the app, how to read the app, how to create a listing, what the Etsy fees are, a couple of different sourcing strategies so you can find products to sell on Etsy or create your own. So today, my computer has a massive delay. We're going through a little bit of keyword research, social media, doing promotions and coupons using Etsy, and also marketing campaigns, branding your store, some listing integration options, and that includes Shopify, and then print on demand integration options and managing multiple stores. So that's what we'll be covering today. Let's just see if my keyboard is going to work. Now I have the hiccups. So the first thing I will encourage you to do is, if you're going to be selling on Etsy, I would encourage you to definitely get an eRank account. eRank is a great tool. There's a free version and a paid version. Now, of course, all the perks, bells, and whistles go with the paid version, and the paid version is very affordable. I think it's like $6.99, but I got to go back and check. So you might just go check for eRank. The free version, you do get some good beneficial information. What it's going to do, eRank is a great tool to use for keyword research. And again, if you get the paid version, some of these features will be available only in the paid version. So bulk rank checker. So going through and, if there's a bunch of long tail keyword phrases that are associated with whatever it is you were looking up, then you can definitely check to see what is available, what's the competition on it, how many listings, all that fun stuff. Listing categories and listing changes, sales map, some trends for buzzwords. And so as we go throughout the year, there's always changes in what the trends are and what people are searching for as you get closer to holidays or specific events or activities. Then that what the keywords are that are important, or the buzzwords that are coming up that people are searching for. You'll see those change in the trend. Also, if there's anything in the news, celebrities, sports, music, any of that stuff, then you'll see those trends as well. Competitor tags. So again, what tags your competitors are using for the specific keyword or keyword phrases that you are interested in. Active listings, profit ROI calculator, hashtag generator, and keywords for your blog. All of this is inside of eRank. It's an amazing tool. So consider at least sign up for a free account for now. And then you can go through and decide that you want to upgrade once you're into profit, once you're profitable on Etsy. Definitely consider upgrading to the paid account with eRank. My keyboard is not working. There we go. All right, so keywords versus tags. So keywords are the phrases that people are searching for in the search engines. So what shows up in the search queries? When you think of a search query, when you go to Amazon.com and there's a box there and you type in some words. So let's say you're looking for dog, large dog toys. Okay. That's what you're typing into the search. Large dog toys. It's going to give you all the products that show up that have those keywords attached to them for large dog toys. If you're looking for a specific brand, let's say you're looking for a Remington ceramic flat iron. So you're going to type in Remington ceramic flat iron, and then all of the Remington, all of the results that have Remington and ceramic flat iron are going to come up. That's the search box. So you have a search box on Walmart, you have a search box on Etsy, you have a search box on eBay, and you also have a search box when you go to Google. So you have search boxes everywhere. And those, again, are the words that people are typing to find a specific product. A tag is a word or short phrase that describes your item. And so it matches Etsy matches the tags with shopper searches to give them relevant results. The great thing about tags is that you can put up to 13 tags on your Etsy listing. If you use all 13, again, the word or short phrase that describes your item, then you have a better chance of your product showing up in the search engine organically. And that is one of the things that you definitely want. So you can use eRank to help you with finding out what your competitors have on their listings for tags. You can also look up some of that stuff yourself directly because Etsy does display that. But it'll save you some time using the tool eRank. Now, for each tag, it can contain up to 20 characters. So you need to keep that in mind as you add tags to your listings that you create on Etsy. In addition to, there we go. My keyboard is not working. So for social media, if you're going to share your listing on social media, I definitely encourage you to do so. I also encourage you to make sure you also list your item on Pinterest. I feel like Etsy and Pinterest have a natural organic relationship. Like a lot of the stuff that you find that's available or for sale on Etsy more than likely is cross-listed over on the Pinterest. There's other platforms in which you can list it on, but I feel like there's a good relationship there. And so Pinterest is considered a social media platform. When you share your listing over to social media or you create a social media page for your Etsy store, it's going to potentially help you to gain more followers. And that in turn will help you to get some organic traffic or just help you to build your brand if that's your ultimate goal is to build a brand. If you're going to share your listings or your images onto social media, make sure that the link is there, that it's clickable, that people can find it or reference it. In order to establish a business page on Instagram or on Facebook, it has to be a business page. So you have to, if you're wanting to have a page to sell your products, you definitely need to make sure that it's a business page that you can share your listings from Etsy onto Facebook and also into Instagram. And as I said before, you can also share it on the Pinterest. Think about what type of board you would put your listings on, especially if you have a niche. And that way you can create that board and people can follow that board or pin things to that board. Make sure your photos are mobile friendly. Whatever photos you're going to share or images of your product, if you are going to use social media and those people that are interested in your products comment, make sure that you're active so you can respond or reply to their inquiries or their comments. And that will help you, again, to be perceived as more responsive and to also potentially get more traffic. Use hashtags to draw your audience in. Hashtags is another thing. So you've got on your listings, you've got keywords, you've got tags, and then the hashtags. Adding those hashtags to your social media posts will help you to get more listings as well. Help you to get more traffic and more followers as well. And at the end of the day, your goal is to either get more followers or for your product to be found organically. So don't overlook the opportunity to use those hashtags so that people can potentially find your product and also be thinking of the words in which they're using to search for it. You might also consider listing your products on, like, Facebook Marketplace will allow you to list some of your print on demand products. So that's another opportunity for you to get more traction and traffic to your listing. And when you share your listings onto social media, you're creating what's called backlinks. Backlinks tells the internet in some form or fashion, when the internet is going through and indexing things, that there's a lot of links back to this original listing, and so this might be an important listing. Having more links back to your specific product that you're selling can help you to get more eyeballs and help you to get more traffic. So to run promotions and coupons inside of Etsy, you want to go under Shop Manager and go to Marketing. You can click on Sales and Coupons, and then you can select New Offer. You can run a sale. You can send offers to interested shoppers. You can create a coupon. You can set up targeted campaigns for a banded cart, like maybe somebody added it to their cart and then they didn't check out, or recently favorited. So on Etsy, if people like your listing or they recently favorited it, then you can set up campaigns to target those people. Make sure you list your item's price, that you oh, hold on just one second. Make sure that you list your items, that you price it is price it so that you have enough wiggle room for running sales and sending offers. So this is what I will say about that. Going through and actually putting something or running a campaign on something at least once a week. It doesn't have to be everything in your store, but running one campaign a week can actually help you to get more traffic to your store overall. So figure out something that you're willing to do a promotion or a campaign on. If you gotten to the place where you've got 200 listings or 50 listings, then and you have the capital to be able to do so, don't overlook the opportunity to put something on sale, even if it's only on sale for 3 days, like over the weekend. This is a weekend sale. Then definitely consider doing that. And that's going to potentially help you to get a little more organic traffic to your store and maybe increase your followers that are checking out your items. So make sure you know what you're willing to, that's the lowest price you're willing to take for that product, whatever it happens to be, or what your margins are. So you don't want to undercut yourself. You need to incorporate Etsy's fees into your calculation and what your shipping costs are going to be, so that you don't lose money. And if you do lose money, but it ultimately drives more customers to your store, then again, know what your strategy is, and what you're willing to do. What's the lowest dollar amounts you're willing to go when it comes to that, putting together a deal. All right. So marketing campaigns, you can reach more people by using paid ads on Etsy. Again, going to Shop Manager, going to Marketing. So this is your sales and coupons. If you're going to run sales and coupons. Now, if you're going to go to Marketing, you can click on Etsy ads and you choose what you want to run ads on. Again, putting something on sale, doing an offer for something, putting together a campaign so that people can follow up, or that your campaign follows up with people who were interested in your particular product but maybe didn't buy it. And then also setting up your own marketing campaign is also, again, going to help you to get more traffic. So maybe what your strategy is 1 week you'll do a coupon, next week you'll do a sale, next week you'll run an ad, and you just do a rotation of 1 or 2 products that are actually inside of your Etsy store. So branding your store is extremely important. The name that you give it is going to be important, and it needs to be something that's memorable. If you're just going to sell a variety of different things and you haven't figured out what your niche is going to be or where your focus and energy is going to be, then having something that's generic enough, but also potentially relatable. So I'm going to use the example of, maybe you're just going to focus on clothes. Clothes for kids, clothes for adults, clothes for her, clothes for him, clothes for teenagers, whatever it happens to be. It's all clothes related. So using words like boutique, that may make sense, or shoppy, which SHOPPEE, that may or may not make sense. If there's something that you're going to be focusing on, maybe you're going to focus on pet related items, and it could be a variety of different pets, from birds to fish to dogs to cats to whatever. Again, think about the name that would work for that. It's a broad niche. It's not narrowed down to a tighter niche, but it's still an opportunity for you to, hopefully come up with a name that's going to be memorable and will help you to build that brand. But again, if you're going to just sell a variety of different things, you're going to sell everything from pets stuff to people stuff to, who knows what else, seasonal stuff, whatever, household goods, then you need to have a generic enough name that, but you also want it to be memorable. Etsy allows you the opportunity, if you are ready and prepared to build a brand, they're going to do everything they can to help you build that brand. And so if you're wanting to build a brand, make sure that you tell a story. I think, a couple of things that I've seen when I've been doing some research, reconnaissance on Etsy, is one of them was around, I think it was like Brooklyn candles, Brooklyn soy candles. And so they have a whole backstory of how they got into the soy candle business and why they sell soy candles and why soy candles are so important. And I thought that that was really interesting. So there's a whole story behind that. For me, my kids, having two special needs kids, like the products that we would focus on maybe to sell, our story of our journey on, our autism journey would be part of our story. And sometimes people resonate with that. Again, remember, in some cases, people want to support a brand. They're interested in supporting a business that is doing good or has a great story. So keep that in mind as you're going through the process. Make sure you create a logo for your store. And you can do that through different means. You can use Canva, you can use Fiverr, you can just do a Google search on logo builders because there's a bunch of them. I think Taylor Brands will allow you to help you to build a logo, and a couple of other websites. I'm trying to remember all of them. I know Shopify has a logo builder as well, so you can use that as well. And then if you're building a brand, make sure that their experience with your store is memorable or amazing. That you may include something in the item when you ship it, or a little card or personal touch, so that people have a memorable experience. Sometimes people just buy a lot of stuff online. Okay, let's just be honest. And when they buy a bunch of different variety of things online, what ends up happening is they don't always remember. They just have all these packages coming in, they're being dropped off at the front door, and they're not really thinking about it. But if you take the time, to put a personal touch on it, that will make all the difference in the world, and they will remember you. People remember buying stuff and getting it dropped off at Walmart and Target, from Walmart and Target, or from Amazon. Amazon's got the little smiley face on the outside of the box, but there's not a lot of personal touch on the inside, unless those sellers that are selling stuff on Amazon wants to include something in their product. Same thing with buying stuff from Target or from Walmart, to have it dropped off at the door. Like it's got the, the yellow star, or it's got the red circle Target. And so they don't put anything personalized inside those boxes. There's nothing memorable. You have the opportunity for people to experience something when they open their box, that they want to do a video for an unboxing. So again, think about your name, think about the story you want to tell, who's your target audience. And if you're going to sell something generic, then make sure, you're not going to niche down to a specific larger category or subcategory. Then make sure it's general enough to where it's semi-memorable, for sure. You want to stand out and you want to be remembered. So don't forget the logo. So some of the other tools you can use that integrate with Etsy, List Perfectly. I have a List Perfectly account. I think it's a great tool. They're always adding enhancements to it. And so List Perfectly is one of those that you can cross list from Etsy onto other platforms, and you can list from other platforms onto Etsy. So List Perfectly, you can put it into the List Perfectly catalog or library and then push it out to the other platforms, which is awesome. Vendoo is another tool that will allow you to list. Cross Listed is another tool. I've not used Cross Listed. I did test out Vendoo. Seller Champ, not use that. Sellbrite, Sellhound. I got to go do some research on Sellhound. But again, these are tools that if you want to push your listings out from Etsy to another platform, or from other platforms onto Etsy, that's another tool. I will tell you, taking your listing and just pushing it out, make sure that you tweak it or customize it to the platform in which you plan on selling. The way that you create a listing on Etsy may not be a 1-to-1 ratio of how you create it on eBay. And the way you create a listing on eBay will not be a 1-to-1 ratio of how you create a listing on Amazon. And again, it won't be a 1-to-1 ratio how you create a listing on Walmart. There's going to be some differences. And so you need to understand what those differences are for the different platforms and tweak your listing accordingly for each one of the platforms in which you plan on cross listing onto. In addition to that, if you are selling using your Etsy store to sell on Shopify, or you want to push your listings out to your Shopify store or push your listings from your Shopify store onto Etsy, then there are some delivered integrations that are available to do that. And the great thing about Shopify is all the apps that are available. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. Etsy does have its own Shopify app. And then there are other services like said Commerce. They actually have an integration that they've built to push listings out. So, or to import listings in, either way. If you want to use them, again, there's going to be a subscription fee for that, but there's a lot of them that are just free that have a lot of features. So if you have a Shopify store, you want to have a Shopify store connected to your Etsy store or vice versa, make sure you look into the Shopify apps that are available to push listings out or import listings in. So there's a lot of them. This is Importify. This one was said Commerce, Importify. I don't know how many others are in here. That's it. Okay. And then why should you do print on demand on Etsy? There's so many amazing reasons why. Etsy is I'm not going to read all of these. It is a great way to get some extra income. That is so true. Print on demand is extremely affordable. Look, there's going to be times where you create a design and there's going to be no competition or low competition, or the competition is so vast that you can create your own version of different things if you see something that is moving. Print on demand is just such a viable option because you have the flexibility of not having to handle the inventory yourself. You have the flexibility and the opportunity of not having to pack and ship and all of that stuff. It allows you to create a product from your own imagination or from scratch or from some tool and put it on a platform and let it get traffic or sales on its own just because. I love that about print on demand. Again, there's a low cost to entry for print on demand. It doesn't require any inventory. It is, when we say print on demand, it's only based off of the interest of those people. So the great other thing is that you can test a lot of different products and you don't have to worry about, paying for all of these different mock-ups. You just don't have to do all that work. Once you put it up, the market will tell you whether or not they're interested in it based off of the keywords and the design that you develop. And again, you can list your print on demand products on other platforms in addition to Etsy. I love that. I love that. I love that. So it is a form of drop shipping in the sense that some other source is fulfilling the order. You do need to stay on top of it to make sure that the orders actually get fulfilled, but it is another source. And again, you can use your creative energy, your creative juices to develop something that is unique or specific, or you can go after something that's common and trending, whichever works for you. Just put your own spin on it. And the thing that you do need to keep in mind when it comes to print on demand is you need to pay attention to any trademark or copyrights that might get you in trouble, because the listing can be taken down by Etsy if they feel like you violated any of the trademark guidelines. So do your research for anything that you design and develop and you decide you want to put up. Do the minimum research that's required by doing some searches. And if you don't find anything, then you can go for it. And if Etsy decides they want to take it down, like, look, here's the research that I did, and this is the results that I got. So where are you seeing that I violated? You can always follow up with them about that. And I will say this, print on demand does give you a lot of flexibility. There's some people that are extremely talented that actually make their own products to sell on Etsy. If you're one of those people, I commend you. It is great that you have the ability to use your hands and your skills and your craft to build or create something and package it up and send it to people. But for those people that are like, look, I can't put together a wooden bird's house to save my life. I don't know how to paint. Just going through the list of the non-skills that you feel like you have. We all have skills. We just don't ever appreciate them or recognize them. Then print on demand is another way to get started. And sometimes the designs that are on print on demand are so simple. I remember seeing a gray shirt with black letters, large black letters with a period on the end that said think. That was it. That was the entire design. There was nothing else fancy about that. It was so simple. And so, again, it doesn't require a lot. It's not rocket science. There's not a lot of heavy work that has to go into it sometimes, depending on what it is that you want to sell. If you're going to just want to put the word think on a t-shirt and put it up there and just see if it gets any traction, great. If it doesn't, take it down, redesign it, put up a new version of it. So that's a great thing. You can test drive a bunch of different products. So print on demand integrations with Etsy. There's Printful, Printify, Print, Mint, Guten, Shirtify, Printoria, Wheel of Wear, T-Launch, T-Shirt Gang. I don't remember T-Shirt Gang. Redbubble, and I think it's Shirt T Cloud. There's others. So you can do a Google search to see what print-on-demand companies have an integration with Etsy. And also keep in mind that there's probably lots of integrations with Shopify as well. So syncing up those two won't hurt you. Now, managing multiple accounts. If you decide to open up a separate shop with Etsy, you'll need to register for a new account with another email address. Okay. And then once you do that, you'll have to log in. You have to sign out of your current account and log into your new account with your new email address and so on and so forth. You want to follow the steps to open your account, which is the thing that we did. And when setting up your shop, make sure you follow Etsy's guidelines and seller policy. You can use, they say that you can use your same credit card and seller for the seller registration and bank account. But here's what I will say. I always use a different one just because, especially if it's something I'm going to build a brand for a long term, but that's just me. And so if you have more than 2 Etsy shops, make sure that each account complies with the Etsy seller policy. If you decide you're going to set up multiple accounts, make sure you comply on both of those accounts. If you're going to use the same info, but you can't use the same email address, you have to create a new one. Then again, just know that if they decide to take down one account for whatever reason, there's a possibility they'll be monitoring the other one or maybe take the other one down too. So again, I like to keep everything separate if I can. That makes life a whole lot easier for me. So if you manage multiple shops at different locations and different products, that can be a cumbersome task. So you might consider the amount of time that you'll go into switching between shops and updating it. So multiple accounts are going to require a significant amount of attention, and you need to be prepared for that. If you don't think that that makes sense for you, like you could have a VA that manages one account and another VA that manages another. Just make sure, like for me, I have a VPN. So my VAs log into a VPN and then they log into my account. And so that may be one way. I think in the back office, and I forget which platforms have the ability for you to create a login account, a management account for your VA. So I have to go back and look at that. But again, that's another option. If it's available in your back office, definitely take advantage of that. And using automated tools to help you to run your store. Like I said, hiring a VA can help as well. But the thing that you want to do is just make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing, because mismanagement of your inventory and your orders can create a problem. So if you're going to run multiple stores, you might work on one store in the morning. So store A you work on in the morning and store B you work on in the afternoon. So that way you reduce the chances of messing up anything that's happening with either one of the two stores. Just a suggestion. So I hope that this is helpful. I hope that you consider opening up a Shopify store. Sorry, Shopify, an Etsy store. I have Shopify on the brain. I hope you consider opening up an Etsy store. It is a benefit to open up a store. Etsy is doing a lot to try and help its sellers get more traction and get more traffic. But again, you can use some of the tips that we talked about today to help yourself get more traction, more traffic to your Etsy listings. So with that, if you have any questions whatsoever, again, type them underneath this video so we can answer them, so we can help you, so we can support you on your journey as an Etsy seller. And if you're thinking about you want to incorporate Etsy next year, definitely consider doing that because Etsy is a great platform to sell on and it's affordable. It's not like there's a boatload of fees like some of the other platforms. So I will consider that. You have to be honest with yourself. Etsy doesn't have the kind of traffic that you get on some of the other platforms, but there's different things that you can do to help yourself to get more traction and traffic. And if you're hand making your stuff, then this is the platform probably for you versus any other platform. So, with that, I hope that you guys have an amazingly blessed, highly productive, extremely focused, and profitable day. And if you're going to sell on Etsy, tell us how it's going. All right. I'll be answering questions in the comments and we'll say goodbye for now. We'll see you for Walmart training. I think Walmart starts next week. Okay. Bye for now.